Good evening and welcome to Education Number One Priority. I'm Dr. Mary Jane Garza. Well, summertime is here. We begin to see what can we do. As guests come, we plan for them as well. But we live in a city that has a beautiful bayfront, has wonderful parks, and we're blessed equally as well with museums. And today we'll be talking about the Art Museum of South Texas, the wonderful things it has planned for us this summer, the wonderful camps that are there, and the exhibitions that are there for our viewing. So let's visit with Linda Rodriguez and Carol Stewart and learn more about what's available for us this coming summer. Welcome, Linda. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Carol?
Hi. How's it going, Mary?
It's going well. Well, first of all, Carol, I know you are a recent addition to the collection of the Art Museum as an employee.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about Carol.
Well, I started at the Art Museum of South Texas this early January of 2014 as the coordinator of community services. And what that means is that I am in charge of the marketing, public relations, and membership efforts of the Art Museum of South Texas. I'm originally from outside of Chicago, so I regularly hear, "Oh, you're not from around here." And no, I'm not, but I am greatly enjoying my time in Corpus Christi, getting to know the community and learning how to bring more members of the community into the museum.
Well, tell us a little bit about your art background. How did you get interested in it? Why this position?
Well, I grew up in a family that is not necessarily artistically inclined. In fact, I remember my sisters and my parents telling me, "Oh, we just aren't very artistic people." And I took a class in junior high school that was half music, which I played the piano, and half art. I'm like, oh, I'll tolerate the art. And in that class, I really learned how to draw and how to break down artwork and interpret it in my own way. And since then, I was hooked. And I knew I wanted to work in an art museum. And so I went to college at the University of Illinois, and I studied sculpture, studio sculpture, and art history. And I have a BFA in art history and sculpture. And then I went on to the Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and studied nonprofit arts administration. So I have my master's degree in nonprofits arts management, specifically art museums.
Wow. So it went from playing the piano to a class where you learned how to draw and how to take it apart and developed a love for it.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, Linda, I know you've been on the show before.
Yes.
We've talked about things, but again, remind us a little bit about Linda and why she has such a passion for the educational aspect of the art.
Well, I am a native Corpus Christian, and I've lived all my life here. I was very interested in the arts and speech, more the theater side, growing up, and got involved in college in communications. So I have my bachelor's degree in communications and went straight into teaching for the Creative Arts Center, which is one of the groups that merged with the Art Museum back in 1997, along with the Center for Hispanic Arts. So I've been doing this a while, I guess. I won't say quite how long, but yeah, I've been with as the curator of education for the Art Museum for almost 18 years now.
And you know, I know that the camps that are being planned are, I mean, just to read about them, and I know last year it was a full house, and
Yes.
this year it's almost there, so we want to make sure our community knows about this because there's still a couple of spots left there.
Yes.
So let's talk about what camps are available.
We do have a series of 6 different sessions, and we have everything from creature creations to art detective camp to recycling camp. I mean, just a slew of wonderful experiences and projects that we've got in store for boys and girls in the community. In our Creature Creations camp, we'll be using scrap metal pieces to create crazy critters and things in the style of Mark Scrap Daddy Bradford, who's a Houston artist that we currently have on view in the museum. So the kids will get to see his work and be inspired to create things out of nuts and bolts and all kinds of wonderful things. And we've done some projects here and there with some kids this spring, and they are amazing. They surprise me with how creative they can be. We've also got this Art Detectives Camp which students will solve a big mystery at the art museum, and they'll actually learn how they'll look at work that lends itself to mystery, either by subject matter, or the how did they do it. So we're going to do a lot of different activities with that. So we have a lot of different camps for ages 5 to 12. We also have a camp for the younger children called our Moms and Tots camp, our Young at Art camp, and sometimes the pops can come too, or the grandmothers, whoever, any preschooler with an adult or guardian can come and enjoy 5 different mini sessions of camp, and we'll be doing some of the same things. We'll do story time, working with recycled objects, showing them how trash can become treasure. So a lot of great things this summer. You know, the cost is nominal, place for all materials are provided, and I think it's going to be a really great time.
Well, let's talk more about those camps. So
Yeah.
how many camps are there planned?
There are 6 different sessions.
Okay, 6 different ones.
Yes, at the Art Museum,
Okay.
that for the ages 5 to 12.
Okay, let's start with the first one. When is it?
We kick off this coming Monday, June the 9th.
Okay.
And we have a series of the camps, and they'll end all the way to August the 8th.
All right. And I know you may or may not remember all of them. So the first one, June the 9th, is which one?
That is Creature Creations.
Okay. So that lasts 1 week.
1 week.
All right. So basically I go there Monday through Friday. And what happens at the end on Friday?
And each Friday we culminate with an exhibition of the children's work and a performance. So along with the art projects they're doing, each day we also have performing arts program. So they'll be studying creative drama, movement, music, a whole other side in tandem with the visual arts.
Okay.
So they'll do a performance also on Friday.
All right. And then what the second camp?
The second camp is our Art Detectives camp,
Okay.
which I explained a little bit
Right.
about, and that same thing. It's a 5-day camp, Monday through Friday, and we'll end with a performance and exhibition.
Okay. And who comes to those performances?
All the parents and families are invited. It's open to anyone to come, and we have a great time. We even have cookies and punch for our young artists.
A little reception
Yeah,
for the art. Okay. And what about the third camp?
The third camp is our Beyond the Brush, and this is our painting camp. So we'll be painting with acrylics, watercolor, tempera paints, and it's called Beyond the Brush because we're going to show the kids you don't even have to have a brush to paint. We're going to use our fingers, we're going to use a lot of different textures and things like that.
Okay. And the fourth camp?
The fourth camp is our Renew, Reuse, Restart camp. And this is our recycled found object camp, where we're using all kinds of things that we can find in our homes, egg cartons, cans, containers, different things to create some really fantastic art pieces.
Okay. And
Our fifth camp is Out of the Woodwork, and at that time in the museum we'll be having a wood turning show, and we'll be inspired by that to create wood sculptures. And then our last camp is the Wheel Deal, and this is our most exciting one. It's kind of our advanced clay camp. This is for ages 8 and up because it is a little more difficult. They'll get to work on the potter's wheel and actually learn how to throw a pot, different things on the wheel, and create some more intricate hand-built pieces as well.
for our listening audience, do they have to sign up for all the camps?
No, they can sign up per session, although we do have some kids who come all summer.
Right.
It's our little camp family.
So they can select the camp they'd like to come to.
Correct.
In case the
Yes.
family goes off on vacation or something, they
Yes.
may want to say, look, you can do 3 of these or the last 3 or whatever. And you said there is a nominal cost.
There is a nominal cost,
Right?
yes.
And from what time to what time?
9 a.m. to 3:30,
Okay.
and we do have pre-care and aftercare available for an additional fee.
All right, so if a family needs to drop off someone earlier, they can. If they need to pick them up a little later, they can, but there is an
Yes.
extra charge.
Yes.
What about lunch?
We do not provide lunch. We just figured it's easier for the kids to get what they want to eat, if mom or dad packs them a lunch.
Oh, and allergies.
And
as well.
right. It's a concern, allergies in the recent years.
Okay. Now, you probably got some people excited and say, okay, where do I call? Who do I call?
Yes, if you call us at the museum and talk to Angela, you can call her at 361-825-3504.
I'll repeat that one more time.
It's 361-825-3504.
Okay, and now these camps are all at the Art Museum.
All except the last session,
Okay.
the wheel deal, the pottery camp, is at the Garcia Arts and Education Center,
All right.
where we have ceramic facilities over there.
Okay. And they're also hosting camps.
Correct. We also partner with the College of Education at the university to bring this VIK camp, our very important kid camp. And this is also open to the community with an emphasis in serving the surrounding neighborhoods of the center. But we do a half-day visual and performing arts camp, and then the College of Ed provides a reading camp in the afternoon.
So therefore you have camps at the Garcia Center. Are they the same camps?
Not quite the same.
All
Not
right.
quite the same.
All right. And then you have camps at the Art Museum of South Texas.
Correct.
Okay. And again, information by calling.
Yes, you
or
can call
visiting
or
the
visit
website.
our website at artmuseumofsouthtexas.org.
Okay. Well, I'll come back and learn more
Okay.
about the moms camp with the children. All right. Well, Carol, tell us what's going on in the museum right now. I know there's a wonderful collection out there, and I know there's something else coming up, and I know you've got some parties planned, so tell us all.
Well, we have a lot going on at the Art Museum. We have 2 temporary exhibitions currently on display, and Linda touched on one of them. It is Mark Scrap Daddy Bradford. Mark is an art car artist out of Houston, and he is a fabulous artist. He's award-winning. He wins awards at almost every art car competition he enters, including the Art Car Parade in Houston. He has 2 exhibitions currently on display in Corpus Christi. One is at the Art Museum of South Texas. We have several of his art cars on our roof, on our overlook outside, very close to the bay, and also in the upper gallery. So we have these kinetic, whimsical sculptures, all made from scrap metal. He's very much into using the resources at hand, that you don't need to purchase items or supplies in order to create fine art, but you can use what's around you. His family comes from the scrapyard business. That's what he grew up with, that's what he knows, and that's what he uses in his artwork. And he takes items that were other people's trash and then makes them into fine art. So it's a great, fun, and inventive exhibition currently on display.
Well, I know you drove one of his scrap metal cars.
I
You
did.
Okay.
I
mean, so
did.
basically, some of that scrap metal does move and is operable.
Yes, all of his art cars are operable and are drivable. Some may not be exactly working order at the moment, but he does have many on site. We have 3 art cars and 1 art motorcycle at the Art Museum. Then additionally, he has many others, dozens of other sculptures and art cars at the South Texas Botanical Gardens through Labor Day.
And this is only part of his collection, right? Because he does have others, and it's at other museums as well.
He does have items in other exhibitions, and he does have a large collector's following in South Texas. This is his 2nd museum exhibition. He had an exhibition in 2012 at the Beeville Art Museum, and then here is his 2nd exhibition, and he created most of the work for this exhibition.
Yeah. And I know we have many art collectors in our city, so some of his art is going to be available for purchase. Is that correct?
It is available for purchase through the artist.
Through the artist.
Through the artist. And if they would like to know more about that, they can call the museum at 361-825-3500, and we will put them in connection with the artist representatives.
Okay, not a problem. So that exhibition opened up when?
That exhibition opened in April, and it's on display through June 29th.
Oh, and then what? After June 29th, what other exhibition do we have coming?
Well, also concurrently
Right.
with Metal in Motion, Mark Scrap Daddy Bradford, we have Target Texas,
Okay.
Contemporary Studio Glass. Target Texas is a compilation show of 35 Texas-based artists, all working in the medium of glass. So we have blown glass, warm glass, cold glass, all sorts of different ways and methods to sculpt using the medium of glass.
And they're all Texas sculptors.
All Texas sculptors, and we do have a catalog available on sale in the gift shop for $5 that
Right.
details their artwork.
And that's
have-
currently?
Yes, that's on display. That opened May 15th and is on display also through the 29th.
Okay. And is there another collection that's coming to visit us?
Yeah, right after Target Texas and Scrap Daddy, we have two other exhibitions. We have Conversations in Wood, and that's the collection of Ruth and David Waterbury. This exhibition was coordinated by the Minneapolis Institute of the Arts. Ruth and David live in Minneapolis, but David grew up in Corpus Christi. In fact, he graduated from Ray High School.
Wow.
And he has contacted many of his friends and past classmates, and they'll be at the exhibition opening on June 10th. The Conversations with Wood is all wood sculpture, and that's wood turning is what the specialty of the collection is. And this is you've seen wood turners, you haven't seen wood turners like this. This is the cream of the crop of the craft. And it will be beautiful and on display at the Art Museum of South Texas.
And it's a local artist?
No, it's a local collector.
A local collector, all right.
Correct.
Okay, so he collects the art then?
He collects the artwork.
All right.
But we're also working with the local Coastal Bend Wood Turners Association to have some wood turning equipment on hand and on display. And they will also be doing several demonstrations the weekend of the opening and the weekend of our family day.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because that was my next question, because it's so fascinating. We have exhibitions that come to us, and we'll talk about how those are acquired. But I know some people sometimes say to me, are there any lectures that come with that? How do I learn more about this? So say I walk into that museum and say, gee, I want to know more about this. Do we have guest lectures? Do we have docents? How does our community get to know more about the art that is on exhibition?
Well, you can always go to our website at www.artmuseumofsouthtexas.org. But honestly, the best way to become more familiar with what's going on in the museum is by becoming a member. And if you are a member, you receive our newsletters, our e-blasts, and reminders, as well as invitations to all of our events. So that would be the best way to learn about what's going on in the Art Museum.
Okay.
But we also have opportunities to speak with the community, like here today on this show. We also have stories in the newspaper, or you can just stop on by. And at the front desk in the admissions office at the gift shop, our trained docents and volunteers would be more than willing to help you out and answer questions.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that, because I have some people that are going to come visit, and I would prefer to have somebody, go along with us explaining some of the art as well. I'll give them my newsletters, do all of that, but it's always nice to have someone that knows a little more about that piece of art that's there. All right, Carol, let's talk about exhibitions. How do we know? Who selects them? When do they come? How do we get to know about these?
Well, I would love to talk about that. Could I just take a moment to talk about one other exhibition that's coming this summer? It's Sheila Rogers' Oceans of Plastic. She is a local Corpus Christian artist, and what she does is she works and gathers materials in plastic that washes up on our beaches here in Corpus Christi, and then uses that material to create very unique and completely eco-friendly artwork that really helps us analyze our use of single-use objects and what we do and how we dispose of them afterwards. So that's another exhibition that's going to be coming in July.
And it'll be here until?
It will be on display through September 4th, I believe.
Okay, so then let's talk about that. How do you decide what exhibitions, what artists, what collectors will bring their artwork to the museum?
Well, we have a large core of volunteers on our board of trustees, and they have committees. And one of the committees is the exhibitions committee, and we also have a collections committee. The exhibitions committee goes out into the community and visits museums across the country and finds artists and collections and exhibitions that they think would be great to have here in Texas, in Corpus Christi. When they meet, they talk about it, they discuss it, they research it, and then they make their recommendations to the Board of Trustees. And the board actually votes on what exhibitions come to the Art Museum of South Texas.
And how far, in other words, do they do it a year ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, or does it depend? How do they know?
It ranges.
Okay.
It ranges from a year to 3 years ahead of the time. We're actually planning an exhibition that we're coordinating, and we started doing that about 5 years out.
Because some of the exhibitions take longer to get into the city, right? They're
Correct.
booked at other museums, so we have to wait.
Yes, exactly. For instance, next year we'll be having Georgia O'Keeffe come to the Art Museum of South Texas, and we had to wait because the Indianapolis Museum of Art is also showing the exhibition this winter. So they're showing it, and then we'll be traveling down to South Texas, and we'll be having that in 2015.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right, Linda, let's get back. Tell me more about the camp, the one that has the moms or the pops,
Yes,
or the significant adult that may come with the little younger children.
It's called our Young at Art Camp, and it's geared for, it's kind of a play on our Moms and Tots program that we hold throughout the school year. And this is an opportunity to give a parent, because we encourage pops, grandparents, whoever to come, and their child or to come and enjoy a creative process together. And so we have a little camp for them because they were like, don't leave us out, we want to do something. So we have a week-long opportunity. We have many sessions every day. They can come and have story time, a snack, get their hands messy with paint and create some really great work together. And it's really not about the end product, it's about the process and spending that time, that creative time together. So it's great. I mean, we have a blast. We see our little ones grow up and then eventually come and join us in the older camp sessions.
And when is this camp scheduled?
This camp is July the 7th through the 11th, so right after the 4th of July.
Right after the 4th of July. And time-wise?
It is in the morning. It's a half-day camp, so we have 2 different sessions for 2 and 3-year-olds with the parent, and then 4 and 5-year-olds. Because 2 and 4 is a big difference even there. So we start at 9:30 and we go up to 12:30.
Okay. And then the second half?
It's just the mornings.
Just the morning.
Just the morning. So it's a real condensed. They're little mini sessions, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes with the parent.
Okay, nominal cost as well?
Nominal cost, pay for supplies and the instruction.
And same telephone number?
Yes, same telephone number, 825-3504.
All right. Are there any other types of summer camps going on?
Besides those 3, no.
Okay.
We have our hands pretty full with that. But we do have another summer program with our July 13th. We have a family day. And this is another opportunity where we invite the community. It's free of charge. It's a time we get a lot of new families to come in, and we have hands-on art activities and guest artist demonstrations. We have the wood turners coming, demonstrating how to use a lathe. So it's going to be a fun time. That's a good time too.
All right. And does that happen to be a Saturday?
That is a Sunday.
It's a
Sunday family day. Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
So after church, after family brunch, come on down to the art museum and we'll show you a good time.
From what time to what time?
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Yes.
And free.
Free. Totally free.
All right.
Free and open to the public.
Free and open to the public. All right, Carol, I know we've got some summer parties also. Tell us about those. And I know there's a nominal fee for that as well.
Correct. We have an upcoming summer party on June 14th. It is Artrageous 3, Taking It to the Streets.
Okay.
And it starts off with a car show that is open and free to the public. It's all Cadillac cars. There's classic cars, concept cars, muscle cars, art cars, pretty much any type of car that you can alter or create or paint, they'll be there on Saturday, June 14th. And that is from 11 to 3.
Do you know how many cars have already said, or car owners that have said, I'm going to be there?
There's a lot. I believe we are out of room for cars. We have more people calling, requesting to bring their cars, and we aren't sure exactly what's going to happen with that. So we're trying to adapt, and there's a lot of interest in the car show, so we're very excited about that.
And then what?
Well, at the car show, we also have a children's activity tent sponsored by AEP Texas. It'll be a large tent with activities, arts and crafts activities for the kiddos. So while mom and dad are looking at the cars, the kids can be entertained doing arts and crafts. We also will have Chica's Rock performing at the car show.
Okay.
And we will have a student exhibition from the Texas A&M University Corpus Christi students. Will have an art exhibition as well. After the car show, which ends at 3, there's also going to be food trucks and refreshments available. We will have an evening party, and that does have a nominal fee, and you can find out more by calling the Art Museum at 361-825-3500, And Art Regis 3, Taking It to the Streets summer party goes from 7 to 10 p.m. We will have artwork by Mark Bueno, who will be painting human canvases. We also have all sorts of performers from the Sparkling City Burlesque, as well as food and refreshments by Hester's, and there will be a drawing to win an original artwork by Mark Scrap Daddy Bradford.
Now, when is this?
That is June 14th.
All right,
from
that
7
happens
to
to
10
be a
p.m.
Saturday?
It's a Saturday, so it's an all-day affair. There's the car show from 11 to 3, and then there's the summer party from 7 to 10.
Okay, and I know you also have a July the 4th, or is that going to happen?
Yes, we have July the 4th, Sparktacular event.
Okay.
This year, the Art Museum of South Texas will be partnering with the city of Corpus Christi in their Big Bang event. So during the day, there will be activities, an extended art walk with a kids zone, a parade going down Shoreline, and that's all by the city of Corpus Christi. At the Art Museum, we're participating in the Big Bang event with our Dollar Days. So admission is lower cost, and it's $1 from 10 to 5 p.m. Then in the evening, we have our viewing party. And the fireworks for Corpus Christi's Big Bang, they are launched off of the Lexington on the bay. And the Art Museum of South Texas has the best seat in the house, right across the street, right across the channel from the Lexington. And so we will have a viewing party for...
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of exciting things, camps, exhibitions, and party time as well. All right,
and don't forget Family Day.
And Family Day as well.
Yes.
So I tell you what, just in our own city, we can have a vacation within here, right?
Certainly.
All right. Well, as you can see, there's a lot to do here in Corpus Christi. So take time to visit not only our bayfront, our parks, but the Art Museum of South Texas. This has been Dr. Mary Jane Garza for Education #1 Priority.